Come on, Philly. Come on, Philly. Come on, Philly. Matter of fact, come on, the world. I want y'all to Google what the FBI paid informants, with the DEA paid informants, and with the ATF paid informants. This is why I bring y'all these videos, right? The game that y'all so love, the game that y'all so idolize, the people that y'all look up to, it is all rigged. It is all one big game. You have no chance of becoming El Chapo. You have no chance of becoming Big Meech. You have no chance of becoming any of the so-called legendary drug dealers you look up to. You have no chance of becoming none of them. We're talking about $500 million. $500 million. The FBI paid $294 million. The DEA paid $237 million. And the ATF paid $17.2 million. Do you understand? As you think you're doing something smarter, they are paying pieces around the board to surround you. Every way you look up, you're going to lose. This is a losing game you playing. I don't care how many cars you show. I don't care how much jewelry you show. I don't care how many houses you try to stunt with. I don't care how many blocks of money you put in your air. Oh, because when they come, they're coming. When they come, they coming. Believe me, you. And when you look up, out of
the Quarantine Report, I'm Amy Goodman. The FBI and New York police departments are facing new calls to finally open their records related to the assassination of Malcolm X, shot dead 56 years ago at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, February 21st, 1965. This comes after the release of a deathbed confession of a former undercover New York police officer who admitted to being part of a broad New York police and FBI conspiracy targeting Malcolm. In the confession, the former officer, Raymond Wood, who died last year, admitted he entrapped two members of Malcolm's security team in another crime, a plot to blow up the Statue of Liberty, just days before the assassination. On Saturday, Ray Wood's cousin, Reggie Wood, read the letter at a news conference at the Shabazz Center in Harlem.
It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious federal crime so that they could be arrested by the FBI and kept away from managing Malcolm X's Audubon Ballroom door security on February 21st, 1965.
In his letter, Raymond Wood also revealed he was inside the Audubon Ballroom at the time of Malcolm's assassination. At least one other undercover New York police officer, Gene Roberts, was also inside after infiltrating the security team of the Organization of Afro-American Unity, the group Malcolm founded after leaving the Nation of Islam. Both officers, Wood and Roberts, were part of the Bureau of Special Services and Investigations, or BOSSI, a secretive political intelligence unit of the NYPD nicknamed the Red Squad. Following Malcolm's assassination, police arrested 3 members of the Nation of Islam for his murder, but questions about the guilt of the men have lingered for decades. In his letter, Raymond Wood openly says one of the men, Thomas Johnson, was innocent and was arrested to, quote, protect my cover and the secrets of the FBI and the NYPD, unquote. Ray Wood's letter echoes claims in recent books by Manning Marable and Les Payne that some of Malcolm's actual assassins were never charged. In a moment, we'll be joined by Raymond Wood's cousin, Reggie Wood, who released his deathbed confession. But first, I want to turn to the words of Malcolm X himself, speaking after his home in Queens was firebombed just a week before his assassination, February 14th, 1965.
My house was bombed. It was bombed by the black Muslim movement upon the orders of Elijah Muhammad. Now, they had come around they had planned to do it from the front and the back so that I couldn't get out. They covered the front completely, the front door. Then they had come to the back, but instead of getting directly in the back of the house and throwing it this way, they stood at a 45-degree angle and tossed it at the window, so it glanced and went onto the ground. And the fire hit the window, and it woke up my second oldest baby. But the fire burned on the outside of the house. But had that one gone through that window, it would have fallen on a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old girl. And I'm going to tell you, if it had done it, I'd taken my rifle and gone after anybody in sight. I would not wait. And I say that because of this. The police know the criminal operation of the Black Muslim movement because they have thoroughly infiltrated it.
Because they have thoroughly infiltrated it.
Looks like the Trump administration's crackdown on dissent just keeps on going, and it gets worse and worse every day because Jonathan Booma, a veteran FBI agent and whistleblower, was arrested at JFK Airport yesterday when he was just trying to board an international flight, and now he's being charged with leaking classified information. Now, this is all happening because Booma was exposing political meddlings into the FBI, particularly how investigations into Trump allies like Rudy Giuliani were shut down, but anything related to Hunter Biden was being fast-tracked. So he, over time, filed whistleblower complaints, and then he even warned the Senate about intelligence suppression. But now he's being prosecuted for trying to reveal all of this kind of stuff in his book that he's writing, which is going to be like a tell-all book about all the corruption going on. But, you know, now he's being arrested. So this is straight up authoritarianism. Like, this is just silencing critics and then jailing them. Trump's playbook has always been to suppress and intimidate and retaliate, and we've seen it before with John Bolton and Michael Cohen, and now it's just happening again because this isn't about protecting classified information. Let's be real. This is about crushing those who dare to challenge the corruption. So if you're watching this from anywhere in the world, take this as a warning because this is exactly how authoritarian regimes operate. They don't just silence critics, they make examples of them. And when whistleblowers and truth tellers are treated as criminals, then there is no more democracy. And if this can happen in the United States, which was supposedly a country that claimed to stand for freedom and justice, then none of us are safe. No one is safe from the reach of corruption and state-sponsored repression. So we are heading into a very, very dark, dark part of our human evolution story. And who knows if it's the last part or if it's the part that changes everything for a different future altogether.
This FBI agent was arrested yesterday, and he's currently being held without bond in the Montgomery County Detention Center. Now, he was arrested for essaying multiple women. What's crazy about all of this is that the police had been investigating this case for a few months, had no idea that the person they were looking for was an FBI agent. How? Well, let's get into it. This is Eduardo Valdivia, 40 years old, from Montgomery. According to the two women that have come forward, they stated that they were essayed in his tattoo shop, specifically called DC Fine Line Tattoos. The police can't specify if he owns it or if he leases it, according to the press conference that they held, and that he essentially utilizes that page's Instagram page to lure multiple women. The first woman was essentially lured in February of this year. She was offered a free tattoo in exchange for modeling artwork. The second time that she came back for its photo shoot, and they offered her a modeling contract, or he did. That's when Valdivia essayed her. Keep in mind, he didn't say what his name was. He told her, "Oh, I'm Lalo Brown." One of the reasons why they had no idea it was Eduardo this entire time. Valdivia then reaches out to her, coerces her, threatens her that if she does not comply with the contract that they have signed, that he will then seek legal action against her. So she had no choice, essentially, according to police, to come back, right, a second time. For the second shoot, they were at a nearby hotel and was again essayed by Valdivia. The second alleged victim, this happened in October. Through that same Instagram page, police say that, again, contacted, offered a contract, and then she was essayed at the tattoo shop. They wanted to have that press conference because they are genuinely concerned that there's more victims. They stated that on that page, there's so many women and their pictures are posted that they truly feel that there are additional victims. So they wanted to have this press conference to say, please, If you are a victim, we want to know. We want to help. Please come forward. Now, the police did state that their biggest fear is the fact that these women may be held back because of that said contract that he had them sign. The women that they've spoken to so far, those 2 women, stated that the entire time when they were communicating on Instagram, they assumed that they were talking to another female. They had no idea that it was him behind those messages. Now, if you recognize his face, it may be because in 2022, he was actually found not guilty on multiple charges, including attempted second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and reckless endangerment in the unalivement of a man on a metro train station, again in Maryland. Now, according to reports, he was off duty at the time of the shooting, and he claimed it was self-defense. He shot him about 2 to 3 feet away, and they state that, he did identify himself as an agent, and they also stated that in the video of the shooting, you can actually see that at the beginning, they kind of introduced themselves, they had a fist bump, but then the man asked Valdivia for money on the train. The agent said no, the man said multiple explicitives, and then walked away. However, Valdivia told him to watch his mouth. The man then turned around and approached Valdivia. And according to reports, he told him to back up multiple times prior to shooting him. And I do want to state that this man is still alive. He was not unalived by him. They did state that he had to have part or all of his spleen, colon, and pancreas removed during surgery after the shooting. And that prosecutors really relied on that video. But again, he was found not guilty. So if you recognize his face, this is why. I will keep you guys posted. They did say that he was supposed to have a bond hearing today. I haven't found any details if he was released. I have no details outside of the fact that he was being held without bond. So I really hope additional women come forward. So if you see this video, share, get it out there. We want these women to come forward and to get justice. Talk to you soon.